Welcome to another edition of the news in Africa and the world. We open today's edition in Malawi, where President Peter Mutharika has appointed a new electoral commission chairperson ahead of a presidential rerun. Justice Chifundo Kashali is to head the Malawi Electoral Commission. 6 other commissioners were also appointed. Only Jean Matanga and Linda Kunje were retained from the previous commission, whose term of office came to an end Monday. The new members replaced the previous Malawi Electoral Commission led by Jane Ansah, who resigned weeks ago under controversial circumstances. Malawian MPs are due to meet to decide on the exact date for another election, one of the imposed dates being June 23. Malawi's election will rerun on July 2 after the Constitutional Court overturned last year's poll, citing widespread irregularities, bias, lack of a majority vote, and the incompetence by the Malawi Electoral Commission. The new chairperson is expected by voters to deliver a credible presidential election devoid of fraud and filled with transparency. Ethiopia's Upper House Speaker Kyria Ibrahim has resigned in apparent protest against the postponement of elections in the country over the coronavirus. Last week, the Tigray People's Liberation Front, the TPLF, opposed the postponement and threatened to hold elections, in which Kyria is one of its top officials. There has been a sign of tensions growing between her party and that of the government. In a televised speech, she accused the government of tampering with Ethiopian sovereign rights without elaboration. Kyria's resignation brings out the deteriorating relationship between Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and his ruling Prosperity Party and the TPLF. The parliamentary and regional elections has been planned for August, ahead of the end of incumbent Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's term in September. No new date has yet been set or been announced. In South Africa, most schools have reopened on Monday, with certain graders returning to their classrooms. It was an anxious start as students were seen wearing face masks, respecting social distancing, and their temperatures checked at the entrance of schools to ensure no sick child entered the classrooms. Schools have also put up sanitizers in different places and equipped the schools with water for regular washing of hands. The government says 95% of schools are ready, but some parents expressed worries. Thousands of students will have to get used to the new school routine as measures to avoid contamination. While regular counseling continues, teachers and parents express how well will children adapt to the return and catching up on their schoolwork. South Africa has one of the highest confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Africa, with over 48,000 infections and 998 deaths reported. In a sports news, Lamine Diack, the former head of athletics world governing body, went on trial in France on Monday, facing a potential 10-year prison sentence on charges of accepting millions of dollars to cover up Russia doping tests. The 87-year-old Senegalese, who led the International Association of Athletics Federations, the IAAF, now renamed World Athletics from 1999 to 2015, stood before the French judges on the first day of trial on charges of corruption, money laundering, and breach of trust. Prosecutors allege that Diack obtained a $1.5 million of Russian funds to help back Macky Sall's campaign for the 2012 Senegal presidential election, which he won, in exchange for the IAAF's anti-doping arm covering up offenses by 23 Russians. These to allow Russian athletes in the 2012 London Olympics. The charges carry not only a maximum sentence of 10 years, but also a heavy fine. Now, the latest on the road to reopening. New York City has taken a first step into reopening its economy when it enters phase 1 of the state's coronavirus recovery plan. It has special precautions issued to prevent the spread of the virus. Some offices open up, stores and curbside pickup. In some cases, one can order online and go in shops, but with all, folks will have to wear face masks and practice social distancing. NYC dwellers are still called upon to be vigilant as the city has been the epicenter for COVID-19 cases and deaths. Some businesses, however, have chosen not to reopen, saying it is a time of crisis. The reopening came amid major changes to the Big Apple norm. Over to the US, thousands of mourners line up to view the casket of George Floyd, who died from a police officer kneeling on his neck in Minneapolis. His final journey brought him to his childhood hometown, Houston. Filing through a Houston church in two parallel lines, some people bowed their heads, paying their last respect, some who knew him and others inspired by the national movement his death represents. After his viewing this Tuesday, there will be a funeral after which he is buried next to his mother. As the public viewing unfolded in Houston, Derek Chauvin made his first appearance in court, where his bail was set at $1.25 million. Arguing for a bail, the prosecutor, Matthew Frank, said Mr. Floyd's death had created a strong reaction in the community, to put it mildly. His death has inspired the movement across Europe, but his family says they will celebrate his life, which inspired them. While he has been laid to rest, all we could do is to wish him a happy return to eternity. That was it for the news in Africa and the world. Until we meet again, do take care and stay blessed.